Welcome back to Silent Conspiracy. Picture this: August 2005, the city of Fortaleza on Brazil's northeast coast. In the heart of the financial district stands the CentralBank branch, an unassailable fortress of concrete, steel, and infrared sensors guarding millions of dollars in cash. But beneath the quiet hum of air conditioners and ticking digital displays, a team of thieves is digging. Not through walls or vault doors, but through soil 78 meters of earth, inch by inch, straight into the bank's own vault. Less than a week later, the bank would discover that 164 million reals, nearly 70 million United States dollars, had vanished. Tonight, the story of the greatest bank robbery in history, executed with surgical precision, celebrated in police records, and remembered around the world as a testament to meticulous planning and audacious nerve. Imagine a quiet residential street just a block from the bank. A modest house, white walls, barred windows, a nondescript blue door. Inside, a group of 11 men take turns working in a cramped basement room lit by bare bulbs. For months, they've carted away soil in buckets, mixed it with concrete to avoid suspicion, and secretly dumped it in trash bags at night. Above them, the house's tenants, a pair of supposed contractors, rent the property legally, leaving everyone to assume it's a renovation project. In reality, they're reconstructing a tunnel so perfectly straight that it emerges beneath the bank. Strong room without tripping a single alarm. The operation began in earnest in December 2004. A gang of career criminals from across Brazil, some former bank employees, some technicians, some engineers, assembled under the leadership of a man known only as Mr. Ingenio, a pseudonym that hints at ingenuity. Their first step was intelligence gathering, studying the bank's blueprints, visiting surrounding buildings to measure distances, conducting surveillance to understand security shifts. They discovered that the bank's vault floor rested on a network of sewer lines. But by choosing a path that ran between the sewers, they could avoid interfering with existing infrastructure. Next came procurement. They leased the house through forged documents under the name of a bogus engineering firm. They rented tools, jackhammers, air compressors, concrete mixers through fake contractors. They set up a front by day. The house appeared to undergo legitimate renovation. Neighbors heard the occasional drilling noise, saw workers in hard hats. No one suspected that these workers were secretly burrowing beneath their feet toward unimaginable wealth. Digging began in March 2005, working in rotating shifts. The team used pickaxes and mechanical drills to break through the basement floor. The soil was sandy and unremarkable, perfect for concealing progress. They lined the tunnel with wood planks scavenged from construction sites and installed electric lighting powered by their rental meter. As they dug, they loaded soil into buckets, hauled it back to the house, and mixed it with concrete before distributing it among black trash bags. These bags were discreetly taken out at night and dumped in the city's landfill. By June, they were halfway there, 39 meters of tunnel completed. Weather didn't slow them. Fortaleza's tropical climate meant occasional rain, but no freezing ground. Their tunnel rose at a slight upward incline, designed to avoid water ingress, and hugged the path just beneath the bank, emerging directly under the vault's outer wall. Throughout, they monitored noise and vibrations, stopping whenever underground security sensors sprang to life. With the path clear, they had one final challenge: blasting through the vault floor. The bank's floor was 1 meter of reinforced concrete, overlaid with steel plates. The thieves used silent diamond-tipped drills, no jackhammers this time, to cut circle-shaped holes through the floor. They extracted the circular concrete cores and steel layers, lowered them silently into the tunnel, and stored them for later disposal. It was now July 2005, and the team prepared their final act. They rented a small minivan to transport cash bags and tools, purchased counterfeit uniforms and credentials to pose as armored car couriers. They studied guard patterns, noting that the vault manager took Fridays off and that security cameras were rerouted during lunch breaks. On the night of August 6, 2005, everything fell into place. At 11 p.m., the tunnel digging crew broke through the final barrier. They emerged in the vault, dressed in maintenance overalls, to avoid suspicion in case cameras caught movement. They moved swiftly, loading neatly stacked 50 reals and 100 reals bills into duffel bags, bills whose bright blue and purple hues glowed under the vault SLD lights. Within 4 hours, they'd removed 164 million reals, more than the total cash reserves of many smaller nations without a single alarm. By dawn, the men were gone. The tunnel entrance was filled with sand, smoothed over, and the concrete cores were replaced to leave no trace. The house's basement floor looked undisturbed. The soil that funneled into nowhere failed to raise suspicion because it had been covered with fresh concrete and tile. When bank employees arrived on August 7th, they found the vault suspiciously empty. Alarms hadn't sounded because the thieves disabled the vibration sensors in the tunnel's final section. Only when the vault door was opened did the empty shelves and scattered money bands reveal the colossal theft. Panic rippled through the financial district. News helicopters circled above. The central bank issued its first official statement, acknowledging a serious security breach. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva ordered a full-scale federal investigation, bringing together local police, federal agents, and technical experts. The initial theory that a high-ranking bank employee had conspired in the theft crumbled under forensic scrutiny. There were no insider fingerprints, no digital logs of system overrides. Instead, investigators turned their focus to the rented house. It took weeks to discover the tunnel. Curious neighbor noted that the house's basement smelled of fresh concrete, even on days when no construction seemed to occur. A city inspector checking sewage lines noticed a strange dip in sewer flow near the property. A tap to the ground with a metal rod echoed hollowly where no basement should exist. On August 25th, authorities broke through the basement floor and found the entryway to the tunnel. Inside, forensic teams discovered spent drill bits, electric wiring, and trash bags filled with sandy soil mixed with concrete pieces. They followed the tunnel to its vault exit and lifted concrete plugs to confirm its purpose. The magnitude of precision straight walls, uniform linings, moisture control, measures amazed investigators. No one had expected professional tunneling craftsmanship applied to a bank heist. Arrests followed. Over the next several months, police detained more than a dozen suspects across Brazil: the masterminds, the diggers, the money handlers. Many confessed under interrogation, revealing the hierarchical structure: a small group of planners at the top, network of subcontracted diggers and equipment suppliers in the middle, and money launderers at the bottom. They had used clandestine accounts in offshore entities and front companies to funnel cash through real estate purchases, luxury car sales, and shell corporations. The trial that began in 2006 became a media sensation. Courtroom sketches showed suspects in orange jumpsuits listening to prosecutors outline details of the theft. Hours of surveillance video. Forensic reconstructions of the tunnel, GPS tracking of money transfers. Defense attorneys argued that the planning had involved no violence and that the stolen money should be returned without harsh sentences. Families of bank employees demanded justice for the reputational damage inflicted on honest workers. Sentences ranged from 5 to 20 years depending on each individual's role. The presumed ringleader, Mr. Ingenio, was given a 20-year term. Many of the tunnel workers received shorter sentences, reflecting their lower-level participation. Some convicts were later transferred to minimum security facilities, where they published books and gave interviews, relishing the infamy that came with having pulled off the biggest bank robbery ever. Few of the stolen funds were ever fully recovered. Authorities estimate that less than 30% was traced, as most of it had passed through complex money laundering channels. The loss prompted central bank branches nationwide to upgrade security. Vibration sensors were deepened, vault floors reinforced, and residential buildings within 100 meters of bank properties were subjected to stricter renovation screenings. La Heist also inspired popular culture. Brazilian filmmakers produced documentaries and dramatizations. International true crime podcasters featured it as an example of audacious, non-violent robbery. Criminal justice scholars study the case for its engineering precision and organizational structure. The story serves as a cautionary tale. No fortress is impregnable, and innovation can serve both noble and nefarious ends. For all the arrests and reforms, questions remain unanswered. Who among the planners remains at large? Were there inside informants within the bank who provided vault blueprints or sensor schematics? Could the tunnel have been dug faster than 6 months if the team had worked around the clock? And most chillingly, if 11 men could remove nearly 70 million United States dollars in cash undetected, what might a larger, better-funded group accomplish today with advanced technology? The great robbery of Brazil's central bank stands as a testament to criminal ingenuity and the perils of overconfidence in physical security. It demonstrates how determination, technical skill, and patience can outmatch even the most elaborate security systems. Above all, it reminds us that human creativity is neither inherently virtuous nor criminal-lit, simply follows the intention behind its application. What lessons does this heist hold for modern security professionals? First, always assume that any point of vulnerability, no matter how unlikely, will be targeted. Second, physical barriers must be complemented by behavioral monitoring. Odd rental patterns, large trash removals, and excessive construction activity near sensitive facilities should trigger alarms. Third, cross-disciplinary coordination between law enforcement and local authorities is vital. City inspectors and neighbors played crucial roles in uncovering this tunnel. As you finish this episode, consider the power of patience. It took 6 months of underground work, 6 million deliberate chisels to breach one vault. In a world obsessed with speed, the great robbery reminds us that slow, meticulous action can achieve what brute force cannot. And remember, the greatest conspiracies often succeed not by outgunning defenses, but by outlasting them. If this deep dive into the biggest bank heist in history captured your attention, like this video, subscribe to Silent Conspiracy. Ring the bell so our next investigation finds you ready. Next time we'll trace the shadows behind another legendary crime, where planning eclipsed violence and audacity met opportunity. Until then, stay vigilant, question your assumptions about security. Never underestimate what patience and ingenuity can accomplish either for good or for ill.